So, the aftermath of this devastating hurricane that just swept across several states in the Southeast has been nothing short of shocking. And the more we learn, the more we are realizing that there are thousands upon thousands of people dealing with truly horrifying circumstances, which makes the clear abandonment by the Biden Harris administration and their agencies that much more despicable. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I do appreciate you clicking on the video to watch it. And since you are here, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and also make sure that your notifications are turned on so that you never miss an upload or a live stream. And of course, to those of you that are returning, you know how much I truly do appreciate your continued support. And I hope that you are subscribed as well. So I know that the last video I posted on my YouTube channel was on this same subject of Hurricane Helene and the things that have been going on as a result of that. And I was going to try and talk about something else today, but my TikTok algorithm keeps feeding me people's videos on what has been going on in areas like Asheville and in Georgia and all of these other states that have been impacted so severely by this unprecedented storm that I truly feel like it's important to keep talking about it and make sure that their voices are heard because it has been truly heartbreaking to see. But before we get into some of the videos that I have seen, I do want to touch on this article, which just gives us an update on the death toll that we have seen. So it says Hurricane Helene's death toll has risen to 189, a number only expected to rise as hundreds remain unaccounted for. The staggering count, which makes Helene the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. since Hurricane Katrina, killed 1,392 in 2005, covers 6 states across the South. North Carolina, one of the hardest hit due to severe flooding, which washed out entire communities, has lost 95 people. South Carolina has had 39 deaths. Georgia has had 25. Florida has lost 19. Tennessee has lost 9. And Virginia has lost 2, according to numbers tallied by CNN. And in this article by Blaze Media, even first responders are describing things that they have never, ever witnessed before. And this is coming from people who are probably relatively used to this kind of thing. In this article, it says emergency responders share harrowing accounts of Hurricane Helene's devastation. Quote, never seen anything like it. Blaze Media national correspondent Julio Rosas joined Representative Corey Mills, a Republican out of Florida, in North Carolina this week to assess the aftermath of Hurricane Helene and distribute supplies to those in need in small communities outside Asheville. Aerial footage showed destroyed buildings, fallen trees, washed out roads, and severe flooding in some areas. Probably about 2 inches of water in here, one individual on the fire rescue team told Rosas, referring to inside the fire station, and in 2 minutes, it was up to my knees, and I looked outside, and it was chest deep. The man explained that as the water rose, he retreated up the stairs to the second floor of the fire station. The doors buckled, and the water came through, he explained. It's unbelievable, he continued. I've been here my whole life. I've never seen anything like it. My grandmother talked about the 1916 flood, and from what she told me, this is on the order of that. Another volunteer, Mike Cannon, who has 40 years of rescue experience, told Rosas that he arrived on Sunday evening. Another volunteer, Mike Cannon, who has 40 years of rescue experience, told Rosas that he arrived on Sunday morning. Words can't describe it, he stated. This is the worst one I've been to. We've been to Harvey and Hurricane Florence, Tropical Storm Irene in Vermont, and those are our benchmarks. But I've never seen devastation like there is here in North Carolina. That's just a little bit of the actual reporting on some of these things. But as I have been watching several videos on TikTok about what is going on in these areas from people that are actually there seeing what is going on in the ground, I've seen countless people say that basically no one would know what was really going on if not for TikTok, because it's really not being covered by the mainstream media, at least not in the way that we would hope something of this magnitude would be covered. And to me, the mainstream media seems more concerned with managing the disastrous optics of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, keeping out of this situation for the most part, and the other areas of response from these agencies that clearly demonstrate how little this administration really cares about American citizens. So I do want to show you a couple of clips so we can at least hear from a few people who would not be heard except for us sharing their stories.
Think about getting out of here because this is going to be. James, you all right, bud?
I just really want to make sure that people are realizing just how bad the aftermath of Hurricane Helene is going to be on Western North Carolina and the Asheville area. I was born and raised in Asheville. I have lived there for the majority of my life, and this is unimaginable. We had no idea this was going to happen. We did not know this kind of event was possible for the area. In Asheville, there's a constant stream of helicopters just searching for people all around the sky. There are lines for gas that are literally miles long. The food lines for to go into a grocery store to get food, I've seen people waiting 6, 7, 8 hours. The lines for water are insane. This is truly, truly a crisis. The main water lines are washed out. There is going to be no running water for weeks. It is going to be a sanitation crisis. My friend is a nurse at the regional hospital and said there is no running water and they're on backup generators. They're busing in nurses. They don't have any means to do operations. Like, it is going to get really bad.
Those are just a couple of examples of what I have seen people share, and that's not even the worst of it. But rightfully, people have continued to ask, where is the government? And this doesn't mean, obviously, that we expect Kamala Harris or Joe Biden to get in there and start carrying people out on their own backs or to suit up like a search and rescuer and make their way through the floodwaters. It doesn't mean that we expect them to lead the response in every single area that needs to be addressed. What this means is, are they communicating with every possible agency that they can to make sure that resources, food, water, etc., are getting into these areas and reaching the people who need them as quickly as possible? Are they getting information on the most effective ways to rescue people and make sure that every possible method available is being utilized and not being hindered by red tape, by regulation, or lack of approval? Are they prioritizing American citizens when it comes to the use of our tax dollars and allocating that money to our people before anyone else? The answer to all of those questions is no. And not only that, they seem to be doing the opposite of that. And people know it.
So I'm at the New Dell Fire Department. Here is what supplies they have so far. Absolutely nothing from the government. This is all volunteers.
You know what? Everybody got their panties in a bunch when they said, oh, this hurricane ripped through the sundown towns and did this. That might have been mean to say. But I think y'all might have needed these hurricanes so you can see these people for who the hell they are. It's time for y'all ass to wake up to see what they have done and what they doing for you. They ain't doing nothing for you, but they sent all this money over there and can't do nothing for y'all. Y'all needed this storm so y'all can open y'all damn eyes. These people are showing you who they are.
There are countless videos like that, people expressing their frustration, asking American citizens to open their eyes and recognize who this administration is and what their priorities are. And we will get back to that in a minute, but there are people also sharing stories about what the rescue efforts look like and that things seem to be being hindered in some way.
My name is Jonathan Howard. I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit, and I'm also up here with Aerial Recovery, a nonprofit. I came up here on Sunday with Aerial Recovery before we even got activated. We flew up here, and then we got activated, which is great. I have my team up here working as well. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening from the ground, what I'm actually seeing, because what they're telling you is complete bullshit on the news, and these politicians don't include in their lying. And I'll say this now, I'll say it at the end of the video. The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Without helicopters, I can't reach these people. It doesn't matter how many chainsaws and trucks I got, I can't get to them. They're 10 miles in, 20 miles, 40 miles in the mountains. There's no way to get with them or even communicate with them. I am literally flying around in a civilian helicopter looking for SOS messages carved in the mud or painted on the ground, and we're dropping down and saving them. What got me fired up about this was yesterday, me and my team did the rescue of that 11-day-old baby. And all these government officials and social media, they're showing that video, that pictures and video of that rescue and claiming that like they have some like government help with that. And I mean, even USA, I think it was USA Today, wrote an article about it saying it was a Florida National Guard that went and got it, like with a helicopter. No, it was me, my buddy Charlie, and a civilian named Zeb with his own personal helicopter out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Like without that civilian, that baby would be dead. And the old lady we went and rescued after that, she'd be dead too because she had 1 day left of oxygen. No one was going to go get them. I will tell you, when we go up in the air, I probably see 40 civilian helicopters, and I might see 2 Blackhawks, National Guard, military, whatever they are. That's it. No one's out there doing rescues. I have my entire team up here from Florida right now, and they have no ability to go rescue these people other than what they can drive to. And the people that are in dire need, they're out in the mountains. They are completely cut off. Now, I will say, I spoke to my congresswoman down in Florida, and she's a badass, and she made a bunch of phone calls, and now we got 2 contracted 60s coming up here tomorrow, which is great. I love that, but like, I still don't understand why we don't have more helicopters. Like, we'll get a lot of work done with that, but there's no military. There's no one's doing nothing.
When I say, where is the government? They could be communicating with these people or communicating with officials in that area, trying to figure out how to get every single one of these helicopters in the air and make sure, obviously, that it's done in a safe way, but that they're utilizing everything that they have available to rescue these people. And that doesn't seem to be happening. Now, thankfully, Kamala did take a break from fundraising with celebrities to go to the area, I believe it was yesterday, relatively close to at least some damage. And she got her photo op and she walked around and pretended to care. And I say pretend because I have a lot of skepticism about this woman. But even despite seeing a small portion of the horrors of what people have lost, she has decided to pledge as little as possible to helping the American people.
Assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like.
$750, guys. $750. But not only that, it actually gets a lot worse. Alejandro Mayorkas did a press conference where he basically told us that FEMA doesn't have enough money to help people, and it doesn't have enough money to get through hurricane season. Why? Because they've been using it to provide for illegal immigrants. So according to this article in The Blaze, it says Hurricane Helene has killed hundreds of Americans across 6 states, obliterated entire settlements, and left multitudes of citizens homeless, hungry, and exposed in the dark. Help is badly needed. The trouble, according to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, is that the Federal Emergency Management Agency lacks the requisite funds. During a press briefing Wednesday, Mayorkas told reporters, "We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting, and we don't have the funds." Congress recently poured $20 billion into FEMA's disaster relief fund and enabled the agency to draw on the funds with greater ease, reported the Associated Press. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through this season and what is imminent, added Mayorkas before concern-mongering about climate change. President Joe Biden has suggested that Congress might have to approve additional funding for disaster relief. While the DHS might soon enjoy another cash injection, critics have raised the matter of where the original funds went, realizing that much of it was blown helping illegal aliens who have stolen into the homeland under Mayorkas' watch. FEMA's Shelter and Services Program is a prime offender, providing financial support to non-federal entities to provide humanitarian services to non-citizen migrants following their release from the Department of Homeland Security. The intent is to support CBP in the safe, orderly, and humane release of non-citizen migrants from short-term holding facilities. Every single American should be enraged by that. And not only that, we are all well aware of the many billions of dollars that this administration has sent to Ukraine, but it looks like they couldn't be bothered to set aside any of our own tax dollars for us. I mean, how many times does this administration need to prove to us that they hate American citizens, that we are their last priority, that they will watch us suffer and even facilitate that suffering in a lot of ways? But when we ask for help, they will completely ignore us. Maybe next time Kamala sits down to do an interview with Oprah and J-Lo, she can maybe squeeze in an answer about why she and Biden have consistently ignored Americans in crisis. Afghanistan, East Palestine, Lahaina, El Paso, Springfield, Chicago, New York, with the issues of inflation and crime and drugs and housing. Not one area of American life that is not in crisis right now. Yet the only thing that seems to bother this administration are cat memes. All I have to say is come November, vote accordingly, because these people have shown us exactly who they are. They don't care about us. We are their last priority. And they will say all of the pretty and nice things to get our vote and gain our support. But when it comes to our times of need, They have shown us that they will leave us behind, that they will ignore our cries for help, that they will use the money that we pay into the system for whatever they feel benefits them, benefits their interests, or pretty much just blow it on anything other than actually helping us. I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please be sure to hit that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.